Hello guys, welcome to Goshen City. In this message, Rev Sam Oye preached about the way smart men invest in their wives. He also talked about the roles that individual can play in the home by explaining that no role is a fixed rule for anybody. Stay tuned, like, share and subscribe.
Your wife around you. It's not Mrs. Pepper, she's not, doesn't do all that. Which is the job of prostitutes. Prostitutes fascinate you. Wives facilitate you. Am I talking to somebody here? The job of a wife is to facilitate your greatness. And if you're a grateful man, you will know that since I met this woman, my life has been on the upward trajectory. I can't explain it, but it's just that I've been rising. Similarly, when a man who was rising meets a bad woman, you can tell, since I married her, I don't start today. The only thing you do for a partner whose environment has caused you to flourish is to invest more into honoring them. Invest more into honoring them. No price should be too much for you to pay in order to honor an environment that makes you flourish. My time is gone. Strong synergy requires swapping roles. Swapping roles. Call it swapping roles. See, one of the things I found about power couples is that no role is fixed. Did you hear me, sir? Look up here, I will leave you with that one. No role is what, sir? No role is fixed. We may accept as a team to say, look, sir, whilst we're pursuing this goal, you are in charge of cooking. I am in charge of. But it doesn't mean that if for any reason there's a disruption, I can't step into the kitchen. Are you getting what I'm saying here? There's nothing that says that Barrister Chedu can't be responsible for taking care of the kids. And you've done a fantastic job. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't make yourself happy. You've done a fantastic job. Now me, they praise you. Done a fantastic job. There's nothing that says you can help your wife. There's nothing that says you can do that. On a lighter note, who says you can wash pants? What is if you can remove it, you should be able to do what? Pastor Nelson, I'm speaking now, you're looking back. It's the very serious matters of the kingdom I'm sharing with you. Amen. Who says there's anything special that a man can't do? And so, those of us who are getting me, what is me? It is the reason why we now get abroad and you are not even doing worse than that. Not for your wife, you are doing for somebody else in a care home. You are not only removing butter, you are not removing just the pants, you are removing dirty pants of the old people you are taking care of, because he says you must survive. What you say you should learn to do at home easily, you are not doing very difficult ones. So the point you're making here is that there are no fixed roles. Times may require that I play a particular role. And my wife plays a particular role. Why not? We had a particular month. It was December. And December is one of the most expensive months for us. Because you have to send gifts to all kinds of, And it's better when you are not known your budget is, but once, the Lord is good. Yeah. So you start watching budgets go in millions just to say thank you to people at Christmas. On one of those occasions, my wife just said to me, she said, baby, don't worry about the family side. I'll take care of all the families. All our family members, your mom, our extended families, everybody, what we normally send to them. Say, don't worry, I'll take care of that. I said, baby, do you know how much it is? She said, I know. She said, don't worry. I said, don't worry. I'll take care of everything that they need. I said, come close. I said, you know, when I told you that God said you are my wife. See, look. Nothing makes you reaffirm that someone is your wife than when you are feeling the weight of life and you hear, don't worry. I'm here for you. I'll take care of that. But how can she help me to do that if I had crippled her? Are you getting what I'm saying here? How can she help me if I crippled her? I've seen few things happen that has taught me a lot of lesson. One of the days I called my wife and I said to her, I said, baby, come close. She said, what is it? I said, I want you to know how water enters the coconut. I said, I don't just want you to be a wife that only gets water from the coconut. You need to know how water gets in. I said, because I may not be here someday. She said, God forbid. I said, stop that. Stop, God forbid. One day I will go. I said, even if two of us agree that we should go at the same time. I said, don't even try that one. Because if we both agree that we should go at the same time, we now say, on your marks, get set, go. I said, I will let you go first. Men are very smart. I said, so make sure you supervise his departure before you leave. Women are faithful. If they say, I will catch you up there 7 seconds from now, you can be sure she'll come. But if we tell you we are coming, you go before us, we want to come, we now see. Sweetheart, I'll join you later. So I said to her, I said, forget about that. Frank, in a great marriage, we talk about everything. There are no, all this talk about death. Prepare yourselves. All right? So I told her, I said, look, the day will come. My time will be up. I'll be gone. I said, but I don't want a situation whereby when I'm gone, I don't want a situation where my children will have a drop in the way they live their lives. I said, it is therefore important for you to know what I do and how I do it and how we get income in this house. You need to know. And these are some conversations we don't have with each other. Frank talks. You just go out, and you do what you want to do. In secret cult, make your money in the secret cult. I'm not trying to say you are in the secret cult. You make your money in a secret way, and then you come back home. The only thing your wife is seeing is the money. How is it coming in? She doesn't know. When you are cut off, how does it continue to come in? Number 2, even if you have kept money for her, but you didn't train her in your lifetime on the principles of managing money and multiplying money. When you leave, no matter what you keep, it's a matter of time. It will be finished. So we have to have those frank conversations. And I said, no, baby, you must learn this one. And I will never forget the day Pastor Sarah Marco came here at Advance. That was what saved family worship. I'm sure you remember her story. She's the type that when Pastor Marco is going for board meeting, she doesn't join. And you are in your church. She was the very tough one. She doesn't care. And one day somehow Pastor Marco just felt, this woman must know what I do. And started taking her to board meetings. This is how we do board meetings. Little did he know he was about to leave. And then when the time came, and he was out of the equation. Most of you remember, if you're in Abuja, then there was a lot of issue with who was going to be the next in command, which resulted in the breakaways and all of that in family worship. It was at that point, some of the elders in the board, said, look, this woman and her husband, they know the vision they have for this church. And the woman joins us in board meeting. That was the savior. Why don't you let her take over? She may not be as good as her husband and all of that. She has grown in the work now. She has taken the work beyond where her husband left it. Am I talking to somebody there? God? My question is your work. The work you don't think your wife is qualified to handle now. The things you think your wife can't handle now. My question is, when you are gone, who sustains it? Or you think you'll be here for life? And for those of us whose jobs, who are self-employed, meaning you are the system that produces money, please, I want to challenge you to use the system that produces the money to build a business. So that when the system that produces the money leaves, the business that now owns systems can continue. And I'm talking to those of you who are doctors. Doctor, when you die, your wife can't take over and say, hello, praise God. Hello, hospital. I'm the wife of Dr. So-and-so who just died. And I know you're all going to miss him. So he sent me, he said, I can take over from here. Madam, nobody takes over from that kind of job. You don't just take over. You must go to school. And you can't start school now. And you get what I'm saying now? But watch this, sir. That same doctor can actually build a hospital. Such that when the doctor dies, an hospital exists. And that hospital now employs doctor. There is no stopping of that hospital. Am I talking to somebody that's of God? Those of us who are singers, you are the system that produces money, sir. Because if they don't invite you, money no enter house again. God forbid you have problem with your vocals, it's over. So as a pastor, God forbid, if my vocals have an issue, how does life continue? Do I have a plan for my life to continue with? What if they say no pastor should preach for the next 2 years? Or Reverend Sam, you're not preaching for the next 6 years. Can I survive outside of preaching? What else have I put in place to make me survive and my family to keep going on without speaking? I'm talking frank issues here. Those of you are technology people, ICT guys, coding engineers. So when you collapse, you're no longer alive, sir. Is she going to be coding? But you can set up a company, sir, that she can begin to understand. She doesn't need to be a coding engineer to be the owner of a coding engineer, of a coding company. So what you have done, you have a media outfit, right? That's why I love what she does. She comes there to see how you run it. So basic operations, your wife knows. From camera handling, she's not a cameraman, but she knows how to carry it. That's a great thing you've done for your wife. It's what we call preparing for succession. Your wife can bring your children on board because you have set up an enterprise she has knowledge of. I may be disrupting some of you today. Look at the way you've just been traveling through life, just making money, just going. And you're not looking back. So you're knocked out of the equation. What happens to you? What happens? Look at everything. It comes down in a day. Excuse me. So for all of us who are the system that produces the money without me. So let me ask you a question. If you are taken out of the equation, can money still keep coming into your family? It shows that you don't own a system that produces money. You are the system that produces money. That is a dangerous thing for a family to live on. Ken, does that make sense? You put the system in place. So you are not the system. Now, because you know how to do, for instance, if I put a coding outfit, if I put a coding company for you, sir, thank God for what you're doing, which is the music outfit you put in place now. So now, madam, in your absence, madam, if she has studied the operation properly, madam can begin to sign on people. All we need is a good manager that can run the company. Madam supervises him, and the company goes on in your honor. That is the best way for her to remember you. The worst thing that can happen is that you live and it dies. And the only reason it will die is because nobody was prepared to manage it. So if I have a coding outfit and I'm a coding engineer, right? So the coding company has coding engineers, right? Of which now I own the system and I also become part of the system. So when I am out of the system, there is still a system at work because I'm only a part of the system. I'm not the system. So my wife can be the MD. She doesn't need to be a coding engineer. But she understands coding languages. She understands what the results are supposed to be. The technical process, I don't know. But I know this thing can be done in 6 days. So guys, get it done in 6 days. Please, whether it's a Beyonce and Jay-Z, when you see two of them, when you see Beyonce walking in her own terrain, and you see Jay-Z on his own terrain, or you see a Jumoke Adenowo, Apostle Jumoke Adenowo, who is in her own ranking an architect of global standing. You also see her husband. What is his job, sir? He is the current what? MD of Standard Chartered Bank. The man is doing well. The wife is doing well. He knows what his wife is doing. Their children have come into their business. So Jumoke now, Apostle Jumoke, can travel around the world. You see her jumping from here. What is she doing now? Leadership conference. What is her business? Architecture. How is it going without her? That's exactly what you need to start focusing on. I guess we need to stop here. There's too much. I know. Thank you so much. God bless you. All right. I give room for just 2-3 questions and I'll be done. Please sit down. Just 2-3 questions. And I will be done. Yes, Doc. First question. Sorry, Doc, let me have you. Okay, who is next? Sir, you're number 2, sir. Who is the next one? Number 3. Why all just men? Where are the women? Is it because I focus on the men today? Any woman with a question, I want to make sure I respect the women. Any woman with a question here? Not just the men. Okay, let's start with the men. Go ahead, sir. Yeah. Yes.
Over the years, what we've taught us and successes regarding our marriage, there's this challenge of one person. I tend to be a very, 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 very quiet person. And my wife, she likes it loud. You see me in the morning, wake up, I just want silence. My wife wakes up in the morning, she's eating the roof, noise. Secondly, she's reading, she's playing music. I want this. I remember they were out of the country for 1 month. Papa, I was thanking God. For the first 1 week, I was thanking God. I was missing them out. Over time, she wants us to go out. And when I come into a noisy environment, I shut out. So I tend to be jovial. I lose my creativity. But other times, she gets that energy from the noise. Papa, I buy new phone. Different brand for my wife. But when you hear that beep, beep, you start that kind of noise. So I tend to adapt. And sometimes by adapting over the years, I tend to lose myself. And sometimes when the noise is over, so we could be talking and no longer there. So she hits it and lost it. So how can she's alive in the noise. I'm alive in the silence. How can sometimes you see me joking, no. I'm an extremely quiet person. Very quiet. So how can we balance this between two of us?
Okay. So yeah, you say what? Okay. Okay. So is this like an hypothetical question about someone you? Is this about you as that you are? I appreciate that. So let me assume for now that I'm working with a character. So let me assume that what you talked about is a character. Is a character in a script, not necessarily you. So. All right. So here's in energy management. In energy management, everybody should know where you discharge and where you recharge from. Okay? So basically just try to, this will help you to deal with the issue at hand. Oh my goodness, okay. So get to figure out where you recharge from and where you discharge from. All right? And try to understand your personality profile. You're more of a phlegmatic, right? You have a phlegmatic personality. Your wife is a blend of a little bit of sanguine and phlegmatic. Is that sanguine, choleric? Which one? Sanguine, choleric. So you're more extroverted. So that's why you have the extreme extrovertism. Okay? So she is just this. In simple terms, so this is choleric, this is sanguine, this is phlegmatic, this is male, okay? These people here are people oriented. These ones here, this top here, they are extroverted. But this way they are task oriented. Down here they are introverted, okay? So what happens is when you have a wife who is sanclaw or cosang, what you're dealing with is extreme extrovertism, all right? Now that tells you that your wife is going to gain energy. She's going to gain energy more from doing a lot of things and from relating with people. You understand? So she's going to be, that's where she gets her energy from. So if you want your wife to be excited, one of the things you have to learn as an husband, if you don't want her to start building her life around people or start looking for someone, and that is what leads women into adultery. If she finds a mate, a colleague at work, who is alive and available, yes, that's where the trouble comes from. So your wife who now finds this guy who is always ready to talk and always ready to, madam, what do you want me to do for you? What can we do together? When she hear do, talk, do, always ready to do and talk. That's why you start creating trouble for her. So what then begins is that we begin to talk together. We then start doing things together. Not adultery, doing, talking. Gradually, what happens is that with proximity, affinity, interest begins to build. That was why the major thing that should not happen between Joseph and Potiphar's wife is proximity. The more we spend time with each other, the best of us will have our sexual resistance wear down. It's better to spend time in an office with a colleague. That's why we say never have personal relationship in a professional environment. The danger of having personal relationship in a professional environment is that once someone begins to intrude my personal space and begins to provide me with what I'm lacking at home, over time, women are naturally rewarding. It's a thing in a woman to reward anybody who shows her care, affection, and intimacy. It's not that she's a loose woman. It's not that she's an immoral woman. It's just something about women that says, look, this person cannot be this good to me and I don't reward him. The unfortunate part of it is that sometimes the reward always comes in form of sexual compromise. Do you understand that? Yeah, so again, it's important to know your wife and know what recharges her so that you become one of those who recharges her.